Good Monday morning, everybody. It is December 19th, and here we go into the week of Christmas. Chris Allen here on the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace, where you can wrap it in red just in time for Christmas at your local Ace Hardware Marketplace. This is it, the last few days before Christmas and the last few days that we're going to have any kind of seasonable weather because things are about to get crazy. If you have not seen any of my previous posts here, or really anybody's previous weather post, you know, or maybe you don't know what's coming. So I'm going to try to get you prepped and ready. Um, I'm not going to tell you exactly what you need to do. I mean, some people will do that. You need to do this, you need to do that. But look, if you don't have any common sense, this podcast is not for you. Okay. Because I'm not going to hold your hand or, you know, be with you every step and go, oh, did you forget to do this? Did you forget to do that? And because I've been talking about this for over a week. And if you still haven't done anything yet, that's on you. That's not on me. I've told you what's coming. I can't tell you exactly what you need to do at this point. It's all about you getting it done. And I know some people's going to think in this society, in this day and time, in this culture, oh, Chris Allen, you're just being rude. No, it's on you to get it done. It's not on me. I've told you what's coming, and you still have a few days to get it done. But again, like I said yesterday, I don't want anybody coming back and going, "You didn't say it was going to be like this. Where's this coming from?" Well, sorry, I have no compassion in that regard. Okay, let's get to it. This morning, with a view of the satellite, high pressure is directly overhead, and that means here at the surface, everything here is dry. Even though we're seeing a lot of clouds this morning around the center of high pressure, the upper flow is coming in from the west, which means it's more of a Pacific flow. You know, there's some Gulf of Mexico flow here, but really everything is kind of shut off moisture wise except for the upper atmosphere. And that's why we're seeing all these high clouds, mid level clouds pushing through here today. And that's what we're going to see. We're not going to see precipitation coming from these clouds. It's just clouds that will be with us throughout the day and tonight. And then we get more sunshine tomorrow, Wednesday, before the big event, which is going to arrive on Thursday. And I know that's what you're staying tuned for here, is to see what's going to happen. Of course, I always show the model blend, the blender numbers right up front. And I'm going to show you that now so you can just, if you've not seen this yet, you can be amazed or alarmed or something, because this continues to show just how brutal the cold is going to be once we get into this weekend and even into Christmas Day. So we go 40s today, low 40s, upper 40s, mid to upper 40s tomorrow and Wednesday, maybe even touching 50 on Thursday before the cold front comes through. Now, the timing of the cold front on Thursday, still a little bit questionable. Okay. It could come early or it could come later in the day. Regardless of that, I think we're going to hit a high temperature for the day on Thursday early in the day. And then the temperatures are going to crash behind the front. And then you see there, we go from 51. Let me get my little pointer here. 51 Thursday to a low of 8 by Friday morning. And Friday is going to be a brutally cold day. This 18 that I'm showing for a high on Friday may be a little overdone. Yeah, imagine that. Plus, there are going to be winds that day of now listen to me, possibly 40 to 50 miles per hour. Now, what's that going to do to that number? Oh, it's going to feel like it's below zero, big time. And then down to 5 Saturday morning, 18 Saturday, and then look, a heat wave. We get up to 23 on Christmas Day. Now, the heat wave comes later. Later in the week, we do moderate back to the 40s and 50s. But my goodness, I mean, perfectly timed for the beginning of winter, by the way, and Christmas weekend. And yes, we are going to get some snow. We are. We are. I'm more confident about that right now than I was in previous days. And it's not, I don't want us to focus too much on amounts. We need to focus on the impact that that little bit of snow, and I got to tell you, that little bit of snow with that much wind and that much cold is going to make a big impact. This is why I've been saying you got to prep. You got to prep for the polar punch that's coming, because it once it punches, it's going to be relentless. And you've got to think of alternative heat sources. You've got to think about pets and elderly. You've got to think about your pipes, your car battery. You got to think about all that, and not just focus on, well, how much snow are we going to get? Because I still can't tell you. It's going to be some enough to make the road slick for Christmas. So if you're traveling, that's a concern. I got to tell you, it's coming. All right. Here's a look at the mesonet temperatures this morning. And as you can see, we're starting out cold. You're going to have to warm up your vehicle this morning, as temperatures in some cases upper teens in the central bluegrass to closer to the low to mid 20s here in southern Kentucky. So, there you go. There's some teens right there in the central part of the state and over toward the east. A little bit closer to 30 near the Tennessee border on this Monday morning before Christmas. God, that just sounds weird. We're already here. It came quickly, didn't it? It just feels like that Christmas is coming quickly here. Very quickly. Too quickly. All right. Now, here's a look at temperatures for the next 24 hours or so. We start out in the 20s this morning, and then we climb only into the low 40s. We'll go 40, 41, maybe 42 for Bowling Green, upper 30s to the north of us, and mid 40s to the south. Tonight, we'll drop about 30, 31 or so. A little bit warmer because some warmer air is going to start to work in here just a little bit more. And then for tomorrow, we get into the mid 40s. How about 45, 46, maybe? You want to go further? I always ask that at this point with this cold air coming. You want to see the cold? You do, don't you? I know there's some of you's like, nope, I don't want to see it. But then, yeah, I want to see it. I'm curious. Okay. So for those of you that don't want to see it, close your eyes for this part. The rest of you who are curious, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go into Wednesday. We're going to go back into the mid 40s. So we're good on Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be a big travel day across the country. We're good. We're good. How about Thursday? Here we go. How about 47, 48? Now, this, again, I think it could actually be 50, 51, like the blend of models chart the blender showed you. But in any case, all these numbers here on Thursday. Thursday is the day that everything comes crashing down gradually, whether it be early in the morning or later in the day. I think we'll establish a high temperature early on Thursday. And then here we go. Watch the cold air come in. Look, here we go. This is showing like by late morning, we could already be at the freezing mark with rain. And then, oh, this would mean that the rain changes to snow. Certainly changes to snow very quickly by the afternoon if this stays on this timetable. Oh wait, but I'm not done yet. So the snow's coming down, winds are picking up 30, 40, 50, close to 50 miles per hour maybe. Let's go into Thursday night. Oh, 10? Single digits? No, I'm not done. What? This is this is Thursday night. This coming Thursday night into Friday morning. And winds are howling. And you're thinking, what is this, a hurricane? And there's snow blowing everywhere with 6 degrees as our temperature, near zero to the north of us. This is Thursday night. Here's Friday's high temperature, maybe 16, with the winds blowing again 30, 40, maybe close to 50 miles per hour. Some snow on the ground. It's not going to be big snow, just enough to be a nuisance and to cause slick roads. This is Friday. This coming Friday. I know I've been wrong sometime, but with this kind of model consistency and the way every model is stacking up and going, this is pretty solid. I'm telling you, it's coming, and it's going to be such a wake-up call for a lot of us who haven't had to deal with really severe winter weather. And I'm not talking big snow. This is not going to be a big snow event. This is going to be a big-time, dangerous, possibly deadly cold that's coming our way. To be serious, which I hardly ever am unless I need to be. And this is a need to be situation. All right, let's look at the maps, and I can show you the progression of all of this. High pressure, there we are, dry for now. Even though we're going to see a lot of clouds today, there should not be anything that comes from the clouds. At best, maybe a sprinkle, but I don't even think that's going to happen here because this high pressure ridge, the dry air at the surface is undercutting, kind of like that Pac-Man thing I was showing you yesterday, just eating away at some of this moisture that's just to the west of us. So it comes closer to us, but it's not going to affect us. Just the cloud cover, and that's that upper wind that's blowing those clouds from this precipitation through our area. Okay, so here we go into Monday this afternoon. Tonight, everything stays away from us. Here we go into Tuesday, and then into Wednesday. And now we're going to start to see the cold front. There's a cold front that is going to come in, but then a wave of low pressure that's back west of us is going to ride along that front, slow it down, wait for the moisture to catch up with it. And that's when we get into trouble. And the polar air is still kind of locked up here to the north of us, but it's going to come swinging down as we get into Thursday. So here's Wednesday afternoon. The front stalls. Here comes the low pressure system. Snow starts to overtake the Rockies, the plains, the upper Midwest. Here we go. Boom. We tap into the available moisture, waves of low pressure right along the front. And in pretty quick fashion, this thing happens. Okay. So we're painted in with rain at first. Then we're going to go to a mix of rain and snow. But I think the transition with the colder air coming in on Thursday during the day is going to happen pretty quickly. It's going to be one of those things where you went to work in the morning, it's nice and warm, and it's raining. And then by the time you try to go home, oh man, we could have some issues with the wind and the rain changing to snow and the colder air and all that coming in, wind chills. Yeah, this is all going to happen Thursday. So here's Thursday into Friday morning. Look at that low deepening over the Great Lakes. Look at all the wind. Friday, I got to tell you, Friday is going to be brutal. Brutal. It, I don't know what other word to use. I'm running out of ways to describe this. The adjectives just don't come fast enough. Friday's going to be a critical day. Maybe some more snow. Then the winds, 30, 40, up to 50 miles per hour. That could knock over whatever you've got outdoors. And then on top of that, the wind chill factor with the temperatures being in the single digits in the teens, that means our wind chill on Friday is going to be below zero. Below zero. It's the way it's going to feel. And it's not going to change that much even as we get into Saturday. Maybe a lot of the snow goes away, but look, the winds are still here to some extent. And we're only going to be maybe in the teens for high temperatures. Another little piece of energy tries to swing down and maybe keep a flurry or two in the forecast on Saturday. Sunday will finally recover into maybe the 20s. There you see that piece of energy coming in on Sunday. And then after that is when we warm back up. But until that time, it is just going to be a brutal, cold Christmas, even before Christmas. But Christmas Day, yeah, that's what's coming. So hopefully you're preparing, you're doing everything you should. Those of you that have some common sense that don't need to be told, do A, B, C, D. I'm not going to go through all that list. I mean, that's ridiculous. I did that for years on television because they said, this is what you got to do because people don't know what to do. And I'm like, why? Why don't you know what to do? Cold, brutally dangerous cold is coming. Why do you not know what to do? You got to be, you should have learned this stuff already. You shouldn't have to go back and say, you got to turn on your heat and check on, come on. That I made a pledge here when I started doing this podcast, when I started doing these daily weather updates. I'm not going to go through these graphics of, oh, you got to do this and got to do that. If you don't know by now, my goodness, this is not elementary school. Okay. So most of you know you're already ready. Thank you for understanding. In the meantime, I'm headed to the radio station, Sam 100.7, to do the morning show. And I will be giving away this week some Santa's Lookout passes, family of 4-pack. So I've got that going. Be listening for your chance to win that. In the meantime, have a great Monday. God bless you. Get prepped. And I'll see you on the radio.